Maybe we're going to start all the way in the back.
First off, I'll start. I want to, congratulate the Phillies on a tremendous season. First-class organization. Dombo, Rob, what they, their organization, their players, how they put together things. I mean, it was a war. It was a battle. And, instant classic game. And I just want to congratulate those guys on a great year.
Dave, can you just talk about Roki's growth this season and what he's meant to you guys now and his role as a closer?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, that's, you're talking about one of the great all-time appearances out of the pen, that I can remember. Certainly given, where he started this year, what he is as a starting pitcher, to go out there and, not only go 1 inning, 2 innings, and then 3 innings, and to do what he did gave us a huge boost. I can't speak enough to his growth and, his contribution to this club. And, we're starting to, see something really special in him, and that's why he was courted so hard in the offseason. But, what he's done now on the biggest of stages, he's just scratching the surface. But, I couldn't be more proud of him.
Go left.
Dave, can you talk about Glasnow as far as last year not being in the playoffs and now having this opportunity, as you say, the big stage for Tyler?
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited for Tyler. A little bit looking on the outside, looking in last year and wanting to be a part of things. And, all offseason, this season, he couldn't wait for this moment, for the postseason and to contribute. And so he's prepared physically, mentally, and what he did, it was his time today. Today was his moment. And I was just very happy to see that he rose to that occasion and gave us a huge boost. And this is something that I know is going to propel him going forward.
Dylan.
With Sasaki, were you thinking multiple innings from the start?
I was thinking at that point in time when we went to him, I was thinking 2. And then I just felt that the stuff, where the game was at, I felt he could handle us pushing him. And he didn't bat an eye. He was ready, and he didn't run from it. So, it's part of the Japanese culture, the toughness. He's been a star his entire life. And I just felt that, in that moment in the 9th inning, he was the best option right there to keep this game going.
I don't think I've seen you come out of the dugout to greet a pitcher coming off,
I just think that.
What were you feeling at that time?
Yeah, I was pure elation. I think that a lot of times, for me as a coach, I pull for the players, and just seeing, in April and May when Roki was sitting at the end of the dugout, watching his team play, being injured, not performing well, and sticking with him, building a relationship with him, and to now see him not only go 1 inning but 2 innings to be our closer and to go 3 innings, I just felt so happy for him, and that's kind of where that came from.
Just one last one from me. You mentioned those early months, and I would even go back to that introductory press conference. I didn't sense a ton of confidence almost from him, body language-wise. The confidence, I guess, that he's shown since he's come back. Were you surprised at all that was in there?
I was. Roki's a young player, and I think that he's very shy, reserved. But I do think that him coming back, he's opened up a lot more. I think he's showing more who he really is and showing some emotion. The toughness is certainly there, and he's embracing it. And I think that, his teammates couldn't be more excited for him, and that's growth and maturity.
You go in the back on the left.
Obviously, you take the win, but what are your feelings when it comes to Ryan Kerkering right now, seeing that happen on the other side?
Oh, it's brutal. Obviously, they played great defense tonight, it's one of those things that it's a PFP, a pitcher's fielding practice, and he's done it 1,000 times, and just right there, he was so focused, I'm sure, on just getting the hitter, and just sort of forgot the outs in the situation. So, Kerkering is a stud, and you definitely feel for a player, and I'm obviously happy that we won, but it's just, yeah, he's had a heck of a year and is a heck of a pitcher.
Do you think your players sharing that sympathy?
I don't know. I mean, I think that no one wants anyone to kind of, bear that, but he's a heck of a pitcher. And, for us, obviously, as Dodgers, we're happy with the result.
Anything else for Doc? Okay, I'm going to go here in the front, Eric.
Excuse me, Dave. Glasnow's at 83 pitches through 6. Any thoughts to keeping him in there? What went into that decision?
He had cramps. He had cramps in the 5th and the 6th, and then so that's he hasn't thrown that many pitches in a month. So I felt that with the cramps, and we pushed him as far as I wanted to push him right there.
And what about Vesia's inning in the 11th? What would you think there? It's kind of a high wire there. What were we thinking at that time?
I thought Alex made pitches when he needed to, and Bader put forth a great at bat. The walk to Harper, the pass ball. Obviously created some stress, and Bader put forth a 8-9 pitch at bat, and Alex made a great pitch to punch him right there. Great competition.
Dave, you mentioned this one was a battle all the way through the end. Just what did you see of the at bats collectively there in the 11th inning?
I thought Kike took probably one of his best at bats of the year. You get a guy that's very tough on right-hand hitters. To go down in the count and to earn a walk was huge. And, with Andy, just, obviously Andy's been scuffling. But to keep fighting and to put the ball in play, to create something, I give him a lot of credit. But, Tommy Edman, he does a great job of getting on base. And, yeah, I mean, it was just a great inning. And, again, we just kept fighting, and those guys gave us everything they had.
Okay, we'll take one more in the back on the far left.
Dave, what can you say about Alex Call just staying ready and quietly kind of getting you guys going on the bases?
Alex he's a winner. He's sort of on the periphery, but the guys love him. He's a baseball player. He's prepared, in whatever situation I ask of him, and he's ready. And so, just kind of learning him at the deadline, he's just he's a great teammate and very prepared. And him getting hit by pitch, the hit, he's always doing something to help you win baseball games.
Doc, would you take this last one here on the right?
Dave, we still don't know who you're going to face next, but Shohei will be the game one starter for you.
We're gonna talk about that, but that's probably the case. But with the off day after game 2, so we'll see. We don't know yet. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot. Okay, bro. All right, we'll open up for questions for Tyler. We'll start with Dylan on the right.
Hey, Tyler, just kind of talking to people around the team, it sounds like you've been kind of looking forward to this day for a long time. What was it like to kind of go out there and pitch as well as you did, and this type of environment, this type of game?
Yeah, it means everything. I think it's been a dream of mine for a long time, not only to play for the Dodgers, but in the postseason, in meaningful games, and it feels incredible.
Okay, you're going to go back to Mike in the back.
Tyler, were you aware of the shadows and how they were playing tonight? And then how does that factor into the way you attack hitters, I suppose?
I figured it a little bit throughout just being an early game. I'm sure that had something to do with it. I don't know which innings, specifically, but I kind of didn't think about it too much, just attacked them like I normally would, and it worked out.
Next question. Right here on the left, second row.
Dave said you had cramping. What was that? At what point did you feel it, and did it affect your pitching? How often did you think about it?
Probably at the end of the 3rd-ish inning, or beginning of the 4th, and then I just tried to put it out of my mind. It didn't affect anything. I think when I got around it sometimes, and I was late, it started to cramp a little bit more, but I didn't think about it too much, and it was fine.
And as a follow-up, most effective for you today as far as what was working, or did anything surprise you as far as something that felt better than maybe you thought in the bullpen?
I think just the timing of everything, tunneling was a little bit better. I've been struggling being a tad bit off, a tad bit late, and I think just working with Connor and Mark and getting it back on track this last week and just moving a bit quicker, everything, I just felt a lot more confident and aggressive in the zone.
Okay, going to go back to Tyler, to Dylan. Sorry.
Tyler, up to this point, your playoff history has been kind of a mixed bag. How are you a different pitcher now that allowed you to go out and have the type of performance that you did today?
I think the biggest difference, I guess, is having that slider in the 2-seam. I think just kind of it was a matter of just locking it in today, and it worked out, and everything felt good.
Next question. Right here, Eric, in front.
The first week or so of the postseason, you were sort of available in relief, and then you obviously pitched in Game 1, and your shortened outing at the end of the regular season. Anything you did in particular to sort of keep stretched out to like get ready for a start like this in the interim?
I kind of just did the reliever role, sort of like during the week. It was kind of a bit more like higher energy, not as much throwing, I'd say. I kind of just fully went in as like a reliever, and then after knowing Game 4, I just switched it up after I was pitched in Game 1. The routine is pretty similar, I'd say, like throughout the week. I think it's just not as much volume, but yeah, I think just kind of just being a starter for so long, it was easy to just switch back.
We good? Anything else? Okay, thanks. Oh, we take one more, Dylan.
What did you think of Roki's performance?
That's incredible. He's just, I think, for what he went through in the beginning of the year to come back, go to AAA, and then come out and throw some of the nastiest innings I think I've ever seen playing baseball. It just shows how strong he is and just like a testament to how much of a competitor he is. And it didn't seem like anything fazed him. He was just throwing strikes, super aggressive, and it's extremely impressive, and we'll need him for the rest of the season.
Okay, thanks, Tyler.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it. All right. Rookies. Okay, media, we're going to start with questions in English, and then we'll go to questions in Japanese, okay? First question in English. Dylan?
When you came off the field after the 10th inning, I saw Dave Roberts come out onto like the dirt there on the warning track and give you a big hug. What were your emotions at that time?
10回登板を終えて監督から大きなハググラウンドでもらいましたけども、その時の気持ちはどうでしたか？
そうですね、3イニング抑えれてよかったなとほっとした気持ちです。
I was just relieved that I was able to get the just be able to pitch the 3 innings.
Next question. Go here to the left, second row.
You've pitched big games in Japan. What is the atmosphere like in terms of being in the playoffs at Dodger Stadium in the major leagues as far as the difference?
日本でプレーオフで登板したことはあると思いますけども、それと比べてアメリカのメジャーでドジャースタジアムでのプレーオフの雰囲気っていうのはどうでしたか？どういう感じ？
そうですね、盛り上がり自体は日本もアメリカも、シーズンと違ったものはありますし、先にフィラデルフィアの方で、いい経験ができたので、今日はこう特にこうなんていうんですかね、緊張しすぎることなく、いつも通り入れたかなと思ってます。
Yeah, I've experienced the playoff atmosphere here in the U.S. and in Japan, and I'm glad that I was able to get a little bit of that experience in Philadelphia. So when I came back here to pitch at Dodger Stadium, I didn't feel any nerves.
Next question. Have anything else in English? Okay, in the back and the left.
Your stuff on the mound has always been fantastic. It seemed like the confidence just needed to catch up, and now it seems like you're as confident as can possibly be. Is that the case in this new role?
球の質が戻ってなんか自信が取り戻ったのかなと思うんですけども、実際そういう感じな過程でしたか？
そうですね、ストレートの強さとスピードとコントロールが、自分の中でこういいラインまで来たので、ゾーンで勝負できるようになりましたし、その分変化球も、より生きてくる感じは感じるので、ゾーンでこうそれがゾーンで勝負できる要因かなと思います。
That's exactly right. Just felt like my fastball velo was back to where it used to be, and the command of the fastball was, where I wanted to be as well. So I think that really helps with the off speed. And because of that, I do really feel confident to be able to attack in zone.
Okay, going back to Michael on the right.
Over here, Will. You had such success in Japan, Roki. Why, whether it was before the season when you were meeting with teams or in the season in Arizona, were you so open to having the pitching coaches change something about you or change something about your delivery? And do you think that small change they made unlocked something in you?
オフシーズン中、その球団にその球速を上げるためのその工夫とかアドバイスとか聞いてたと思うんですけども、それを得て、その何かのアドバイスを得て、何か開花したっていうことでしたかと。
そうですね、マイナーでリハビリしている時のアリゾナで、ピッチングコーチというか、その人と喋って、 その人がこうどう思ってるかっていう、投球フォームに関して、そこに、まず話を聞いて、その中でこう、どうアプローチしていくかはこうまた別の話で、どこがこう問題かっていうところを、話を聞いて、自分の中でこう、うまくいってないところと、一致する部分があったので、そこから、アプローチはまた別ですけど、そこでこう、お互いこう問題というかその悪くなっている要因のところはこう一緒だっていう確認がその時できました。
Yeah, I like to give credit to the pitching coach in Arizona when I was rehabbing, being able to identify clearly what the issue was and to come to some kind of agreement on what the actual root of the problem is. Now, in terms of how to, get to that point, now that was a different process, but in terms of it really just helped me. As I gained my velo back, that I was able to really identify and have a clear path forward.
Welcome back to the closer. So many ways to go with this. Why don't we go the play? The very play at the end of the game. Orion Kirkering, let's take another look at it. We were yelling, we were screaming. How does this happen? How do you process what happened on that last play?
I don't know. It's just full panic mode at that moment when he didn't field the ball properly. He just blacked out. He just panicked, and all he went to think about was the game-winning run was at third. There's still plenty of time to make the play. Pages wasn't even at the 45-foot line, which means he's not even halfway there. JT's coming up, pointing at first, yelling. You can't hear, but it goes back to having a game plan, run through plays. We talk about it. If I strike him out, cool. If it's come back to me, where am I going with it? If it takes me to the third base line, do I take it and throw it to third? If it takes me to the first base line, obviously it's right up front. If it's a dribbler right up front, am I going to glove flip to JT? Any of those things, but he just panicked. He just panicked. It was almost, he was, looking for the out, but almost like as if he took his way out of it other than a strikeout. And it's tough to see. It's something that you're going to have to live with. I mean, literally the rest of your life. And I've been there, you've been there where you've been eliminated and you go back and you run over scenarios, personally what you could have done. And that right there is just fundamental baseball, one-on-one. PFPs, you practice comebackers. There was a broken bat. It wasn't hit hard. There were plenty of things that he did right. It was just that one play that will go down in infamy.
But Jimmy, for kids that are watching, anybody, young players in baseball, the little details of the game is what take you to the next level. Anticipation in the game is a must. It's a must. And this is a great lesson for everybody watching. Everybody that wants to be an elite player needs to understand that the little details are as important as your training, as your strength, as your abilities, as everything you do in baseball. They need to pay attention and anticipate themselves to what might come during the game, what kind of situation might pop up. And this is a real good example. I think he went out there with the mentality, I'm going to get this guy out, I'm going to execute pitches, but forgot that he needed to also fulfill the responsibility of fielding, throwing, and securing that out.
Look, the Phillies could have added more than one run. There was also the question of, do you walk Shohei Ohtani there? You guys both said in the back that was the correct baseball decision there, even though it tied the game. And then there's the Dodgers. So let's get to the positivity of this. Can we talk about Sasaki? This is a kid that they didn't realize he was going to be the closer, came to them in September, said, fix my mechanics, and he has been unbelievable in every appearance in this postseason.
And sometimes you just need a switch. When things weren't going the way you thought it would over the course of the regular season, sometimes switching it up first, going and talking to them saying, hey, I need to work on my mechanics. They do that. You go down to the minor leagues and get it. And also even the focus. I remember when Zach Greinke was kind of going through this, he came back as his dominant closer first before coming back and getting his Cy Young back as a starter. Sometimes you might need a switch like this, and what better place to get it with the pressure on you in the postseason, but coming in intense moments, staying cool and calm, and using the mechanics you've been working on when you asked to be fixed.
Was out 4.5 months with a shoulder problem. and he came back, and what was supposed to be the weakness of the Dodgers got filled really quickly. J-Roll, I'm coming back to you again because not only is this the end of the season for the Phillies, it kind of feels like the shutting of the window. You look at those names right there. These are the unrestricted free agents after this season. This is the oldest team in baseball. So you have to imagine a lot of changes are coming. Wheeler recovering from injury, but Schwarber, Realmuto, Suarez, the recent failure in the postseason. Is this the end of this era of Phillies baseball?
With this group, yes. I think the era can keep going on, meaning they can keep winning. They can find ways to get back to the playoffs because they're good enough to do that. They've proven it. But with this specific group, yes. I say two of those three guys probably won't be here. I'm not sure what the combination looks like. We know Schwarber's going to demand a lot of money, so is JT, and Ranger's going to demand some money also.
What a playoff performer
what type of year you want to get them. And Ranger, yes, these are guys that have shown up when it counted the most, so you're not going to keep them all. I mean, the Phillies, yes, they have a lot of money, but they have to be smart with it. You know, those days of just being able to go and sign guys for $300 million, that probably won't happen. It doesn't happen unless you start bringing them championships and they've fallen short. So they have to find a new mix, get a little bit more athletic, get some guys back that they feel can contribute, but also look in the minor leagues. You got young Crawford down there who had a hell of a year. It's time to give that kid a look. He's speed in some couple situations where if he wasn't starting in the playoffs, he would have been able to pinch run and change some things as we saw they turned out. But as far as this group of guys specifically, yes, that window's closed. But the era of winning and getting to playoffs and giving himself a chance to win a championship, that door is still open.
The franchise is processing this loss. Let's listen to a few of the players, starting with Orion Kirkering.
Guys, say you in that moment. Just keep your head up. It's an honest mistake. It's baseball. It happens, and just keep your head up. You'll be good for a long time to come. It's not my fault then. You just had opportunities to score. Just keep your head up. Just keep back in my head of this really sucks right now, but hopefully keep pushing and get over this hump.
You know, he just got caught up in the moment a little bit. You know, I feel for him because he's putting it all on his shoulders, but we win as a team and we lose as a team. When this happens, it's like your entire world comes to a stop, and it's just a thud. And it's just not a good feeling.
I feel really bad for him. I feel bad, you know, not just for him. I don't want to, feel like put pity on him, but it could have been any one of us. It's a team effort. Sometimes, baseball just happens.
Before a real kid like that, he's probably feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders after that play. So I just tried to reassure him that the whole game's not on him. There's a lot of opportunity for us to win that game, and we didn't do what it took. I love these guys in this clubhouse, and it's just frustrating to go out like this. We know we had what it took. We had the talent in this room to win a World Series, and we fell short of that ultimate goal.
It's not about the last play, right? It's not about that. It's just, just the group that we had. I don't know, but I felt like that. Our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was the team that was going to do it.
You can sense just crushed, the emotions they're feeling. What do you think seeing all that?
I actually feel really bad for this 24-year-old, and I just want to tell him, hey, keep your head up. Learn from this mistake. Everybody that has been through baseball understands that even though it was a mental mistake, probably, all of us have gone through that. So keep your head up. Don't give up on yourself. Your teammates understand you. They're honest. They're not going to hang it on you. For the fan base, please understand that this kid was brought up prematurely. I know Philly is very demanding, but please don't let this talent carry that load for the rest of his career. And I'm going to say, it's devastating because the efforts that the city and the team has put together to kind of put together a championship team, a team that could easily win a World Series if everything falls in place. But I also think that the organization needs to do a better job at mentoring the entire team. Because, yes, we rely a lot on Harper, Schrober, and the leadership that you have, Realmuto, to actually guide the rest of the players. But the organization in general, from top to bottom, need to do a better job at mingling with the players and understanding really make them kind of lead them to feel better about themselves every time they go out there, because the bullpen needs a lot of help when they take the ball, and so do some of the players. I believe guys like you could really help mentor some of those guys in the clubhouse.
It was a moment that overshadowed other great performances. Glasnow was unbelievable. Sanchez was unbelievable. Luzardo was untouchable up there as well. Duran got it done, but in the end, it was one play that is the difference between the Dodgers moving on and the Phillies not going to Philadelphia for Game 5.